Welcome to Deathmatch and Chill. I think this is episode 17 or something like that. My name is Dom.
I'm Aaron.
I am Chiba.
I'm Ash.
And today we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, mainly the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. But before we get into that, we had some other shit that we were going to dive into. So, Aaron, what's going on with Google Stadia? First of all, for those who don't know, what the fuck is Google Stadia?
Google Stadia was their similar to like Game Pass. Like, I don't know, I wasn't too into it when it came out, so I never really paid a whole lot of attention to it.
Yeah, I remember I was into it too, but
it was like a cloud streaming like console that Google put out. And I honestly, I didn't even really read the article. I just saw the highlight of it and just laughed about it. But the article, or the highlight for the article, was that they're shutting down the Stadia and refunding everyone who bought it.
Oh,
Shutting it down, hitting the stop button.
you know,
Square one, yeah.
I think its sales were trash. I can't imagine it was making money with because it came out pretty much the same time the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X came out. So between those four consoles and then the PC, like, you're not gonna sell any.
yeah.
Refunding.
Well, and that I remember when Stadia. Yeah, seriously. I remember when Stadia came out, like, the biggest thing that people were pushing back on was the connection. Like, you know, because it's supposed to be an entirely cloud-based, or like your game is playing on a server somewhere and you're kind of streaming it like Netflix, but then your game is only as good as your internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting idea. And I mean, it was kind of expensive at launch, wasn't it?
I honestly, I don't remember the price, but I mean, again, fucking the whole Xbox thing with Game Pass, you have cloud gaming with that, so it's like, why fuck with the Stadia?
Well, it was like it was like just a regular subscription, like a monthly thing.
I'm not even sure how that
Like
worked.
there's a one.
I think it was subscription based, just like Game Pass, or like, what is it? PlayStation Now, is that their subscription service?
I must live under a rock or
Yeah.
something, dude, because I do not remember anything about that.
Well, it's because it wasn't very big. Like, I think
No.
they talked about it. It was at EA, so it had to either 2018 or 2019, like not EA, E3. It was there, and then it released right around the same time all the other new consoles came out, and yeah, I think it just nosedived. I don't think it ever had the numbers they thought it was going to have.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here. It looks like its original release date was November 19th, 2019, and it costs $100 to get like a regular bundle, which was like your controller, whatever, or $129 for the Premier Edition. But then you had to pay $10 a month afterwards to get all that. So after 2 years of service, you might as well just have gotten yourself an Xbox or a PlayStation,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's being canceled in January. And some other disappointing news I know that we were looking at was Skull and Bones was delayed to March.
Yeah, I'm a little sad about that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, especially in this content drought.
Sort of that.
Damn, that does suck.
Yeah, because I mean, what are the games that are coming out? The big like blockbusters. We got God of War Ragnarok and Call of
Hell yeah.
Duty, and is that it? I think that's like the end of the list. Because Hogwarts Legacy got pushed back, and Skull and Bones got pushed back, and those are the other two ones. So I mean, it's not really like a big gaming season this year.
Yeah, because I can't remember what else there is. I'm sure there's other games that are coming out that probably have like a following. It's just not games that I'm following.
Yeah.
well, they're in smaller games.
Right, I'm sure there's indie games coming out for sure.
Definitely. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, from a big like blockbuster perspective, I can't imagine that the games industry is going to
No
be
Man's
that hot.
Sky is coming to Nintendo Switch October 7th.
That's cool.
Oh,
We were
that's
just
dope.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Get down
Do
on
what you want.
that. But anyway, considering blockbusters, Modern Warfare 2. That
Yep.
I don't know if you guys would agree. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is definitely the most contentious Call of Duty beta, that, at least that I've ever been a part of. Like, people are just letting their opinions be known all over the internet.
Good.
Yeah,
Fix it.
I don't mean to backtrack, but God of War Ragnarok is releasing November 9th.
yeah. God of War and Modern Warfare 2 are like the only big games.
Yeah, like the big ones.
Yeah.
And PlayStation is selfish with staying there.
Oh yeah, one's a fucking exclusive.
Yeah, dude.
But
Maybe just,
anyway,
like, trade Halo or something for that.
yeah.
I mean, they picked up Bungie, so they'll probably get Destiny.
Okay.
That's their response to Halo.
Yeah.
Close enough.
So,
Well, I feel like it was shortly after the announcement of Activision and Microsoft, and then all of a sudden, fucking Sony bought Bungie.
that's right. That was the timeline.
Roughly,
haven't
it was
seen,
thereafter,
like-
but
Have we even heard anything about Bungie? Like, are they coming out with anything? Have we heard any rumors about their next project?
I haven't. But I also don't follow now. Now that they're owned by Sony, I don't know if it's PlayStation that is going to announce most of that, because I don't like, as far as like Twitter, TikTok, anything like that. I don't follow much of Sony's stuff. I only really like if there's something big in the news that I hear about, then I'll go looking. But so as far as Bungie goes, yeah, I haven't heard shit.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything because I hopped off that PlayStation fanboy bus a few months ago, so I've been kind of out of the loop. But anyway, now that we've had time to let it like marinate and shit, what are y'all's final opinions on the Modern Warfare 2 beta?
I don't think we have time, dude.
Time for your opinion or time to make the game good?
Time, both is good. No, man. I mean, it's not bad. It's like learning how to play Call of Duty again. It's so different to what I'm used to. So
Yeah.
it's just, I feel like it's gonna be good, but it's gonna take time.
I feel like there's
Yeah.
potential, but
Yes, there is potential.
As far as
But,
opinions go,
I don't know.
I'll probably let all of you go first, because I have a feeling that I'm going to disagree with all of you.
I have that feeling too.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, Ash, what do you
ready.
have to say?
I mean, what the hell with the dead silence? What the hell?
Yeah.
That's your
Like,
big gripe.
Drop the ball on that one.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that tactical sprint should be removed. There's no reason to have tactical sprint.
Ooh. You're wanting to bring us back to the Call of Duty Dark Ages. Effectively.
Well, someone call those the golden years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, and that's honestly like where my big thoughts with this, like, guys, I've actually given this a decent amount of thought, I think, and like part of it because we played Black Ops 2 Sunday night, right? We went back to that.
Okay.
And just like comparing the movement to Modern Warfare 2, it's night and fucking day. Like the movement has made leaps and bounds, and I much prefer the modern movement now that I've had it for so long. I can't go back to that because you just felt like a fucking
No
snail.
downgrades.
Yeah.
It's the same with if you play like the Halo Master Chief Edition and you're playing like Halo 5 or Halo Infinite, and then you go back and play Halo 3 where there's no sprint.
I can't do it, and I can't do it.
Yeah, you feel like there's concrete on your feet and you're fucking
Yeah.
running through mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in some ways, like, you see it that way, but then I'm wondering, I'm like, because my big gripes were the minimap, dead silence, and footstep audio. And like,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I loved every other aspect of the game. I was even fine with the UI,
Yeah.
which is another big gripe from people. I was even fine with that. Like, I love a lot of the shit that they did with this, and I feel like that's what makes these smaller errors stand out so fucking much. But then I was thinking, I'm like, are we just stuck on the Call of Duty, golden age, and we're trying to go back to seize those golden years, or are we actually trying to make improvements to make this game the best that it could be? And that's where I don't know where I stand, because I don't know if adding the minimap or adding footstep audio, or reducing footstep audio or adding ninja would make this game a stellar game. I don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, because this game has so many
Yeah,
other
I can see
differences.
that.
Would it make a big difference? I don't know. I think the minimap would. I want the fucking minimap. But then again, we had UAV. I don't know. But then the perk system. Anyway, we can get into it. Aaron, what were your thoughts?
So, I guess I'll start with my complaints, and I do agree with dead silence. I think I don't know. I guess I have a bigger gripe with the footsteps, like the footstep audio. Like, I think that needs to be tweaked. But that is one of the only things that they said that they were going to look at before launch. Again, was literally everything else they kind of stayed firm with, but they said they would tweak footstep audio again before launch.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a plus. And that's my biggest gripe. And then dead silence, like, I don't know. I've just basically, I guess, like, grown accustomed to not necessarily having a dead silence like perk, it just being a field upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
What pisses me off is the fucking tactical sandwich you pull out, and then that sends out like fucking radio waves when you use it.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
That part kind of fucking irritates me, but other than that, like, honestly, like, I feel like those are like my only like complaints with it. Like, even the mini map, like, it does suck, and I wish they would kind of go back to a like traditional mini map, but at this point, like, I'm not gonna get my hopes up, so I'm just gonna try and adjust and like adapt and read the map the way it is, which I feel like by the end of the beta, I was getting pretty good at like reading the map, like, even though there's no dots, but still being able to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was telling you the other day, like, if you're looking at your mini map and you see where your arrows are and nobody's dying, that means like no one's getting into an engagement. So the enemy's obviously, I guess not obviously, but most likely going to be in the empty areas of the map, and they're probably going to be working flanks or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's easy to find them and cut them off. And that's, I also, like, I don't know, I think movement is huge. Like, you have to be good at movement in these ones. If you're not good at movement, or you're not willing to learn the movement, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's true. Because like, if you watch somebody like Shotzi move around the map, it's a totally different experience.
He figured out multiple ways to break the movement in this game, like in the beta, which it sounds like once they found out about his like slide cancel, like his workaround, so you could actually slide cancel. I think they're gonna patch that out. They're treating it as a bug.
That's stupid. So, one thing that I have been seeing, like, a bunch of YouTubers have brought it up, a bunch of tweets have, Twitter followers have brought it up. Like, this game, Infinity Ward keeps saying officially that they want all play styles to be viable. However, their biggest changes seem to target a certain demographic of players.
Oh yeah, I mean, it helps one of two. I feel like it either helps, everything they're doing either helps the rusher, or it helps their quote unquote sentinel, the fucking camper.
Sentinel, yeah. Forgot about that.
Like, those are the only two playlists that really matter. I mean, I guess like their other one, their quote unquote stalker, you can still play that way, but it's, I don't know, it's a lot harder because their like definition of stalker was someone who likes to kind of not camp, but sit back, see how everyone else is playing, and then pick your pick your routes, pick your spots, and then basically it's like the medium like pace play style, which is usually kind of where I'm at. But I found in this one that like if I played like that, I couldn't get a kill to save my fucking life. So I opted to play as like I went straight rusher.
Yeah.
And then I mean I started getting good at the movement. I wasn't hitting any of them stupid ass fucking Shotzzy slide cancels, but I was bunny hopping my or bee hopping my corners and doing all that shit. But and like that's the way you gotta play. And then I found like rock and iron sights. No, like taking that MP5 and iron sights and just bunny hopping the corners. Because when your barrel's in their chest, like you don't need to worry about trying to hit those shots at range. So just bury your barrel in their mouth and pull the trigger.
Yeah. I can see that.
That'll usually do
But-
the trick.
But overall, like during like while playing, like I would rage, I'd get mad, but I mean that's honestly just who the fuck I am. I don't think I can play a single game without raging. Like I have a buddy that I play COD Mobile with at work, and he keeps telling me, "You just need to have fun. You're playing with your friends." And I'm like, "Dude, it doesn't fucking matter. We're losing." And he's like, "It's not all about winning." And I'm like, "Yes, it is. It's all it's about."
Why do you play the fucking game?
My friends are potatoes.
He's like, "I just want to go for kills," and I was like, "I just want to win." Like,
And see,
but
that's what frustrates me, because the footstep audio, it makes it feel like I'm at the whim of, well, does the other guy happen to have a headset? Does the other guy happen to
Right.
hear me? Like that's what frustrates me, because it's like I'm trying to work a flank or something, and I'm at the whim of how loud my footsteps are. So I found myself like running a few steps, jumping, running a few steps, jumping, running to try to eliminate that as much as possible. And I guess it's a way to play, but I don't know if it's preferable.
Yeah, working
The
some
way-
of those flanks with those steps is rough.
when I would try and like work a flank or even just running around the map, like I'll be honest, like I probably looked like a camper like quite a few times, but I would be running and sprinting, hauling balls, running through the map. As soon as I heard footsteps, I quit moving. I tried to locate the footsteps, figure out where the fuck they were coming from, and then rush the fuck out of those footsteps. And like, and I don't know, like I almost feel like that's like your only like real way to counter it is to like stop, try and pinpoint it, and if they're pushing you, just fucking pre-aim the corner they're pushing you from. And that's what I found myself doing was I was either bunny hopping corners and catching kids in corners, or I was pre-aiming and catching the kids trying to bunny hop the corner on me.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, is the skill-based matchmaking in this one I think is fucking insane. And I think everyone has a really tight MMR or a fucking tight like matchmaking rank. And like I have a feeling that it always will, whoever the highest MMR player is in like your party, it'll always match with that person's MMR.
And that makes
So-
total sense, because when we
So
stopped
every-
playing with you, it was different.
Because I was just gonna
You're
ask.
benched.
I was just gonna ask that. Like, if you guys ever played with me, like, how was the game?
So with you, it was pretty
Hard as
awful.
fuck.
Yeah, it was pretty
So it's
gay.
your fault.
Don't blame Infinity Ward.
Yeah, it's
Blame
Infinity
Aaron.
Ward. Yeah, it's Aaron's fault. Fucking 7 prestige ass in a beta.
Which,
Awesome.
in skill-based matchmaking, that's been a topic for a while. But like,
Right.
we're still asking the question of why the fuck do they have skill-based matchmaking in casual matches?
Right. Yeah.
Oof.
I don't understand why they made it so tight because it's always been a thing. Like it's definitely always been in fucking Call of Duty. Like, cause I remember playing Modern Warfare 2, right? Like, I'd get those lobbies where I'd play against maybe one or two good players, and I'd maybe have like a player or two that was decent on my team, and then everyone else was just a bunch of scrubs. But there was one time we used to play with this kid that we went to high school with. His name was Cole, and his gamer tag was Lieutenant Doubt. And back in the day, he was actually a pro Call of Duty player.
Oh shit.
Damn.
And he's actually like currently like pretty good friends with like fucking Nate Shot and some of them, and like Courage and shit. Like they're always posting pictures on Instagram together.
Damn.
But when we played with him, we got into one lobby, and I think it was kind of like basically our MMR or closer to like our MMR. But so it was a 10-minute team deathmatch, and I'm pretty sure that Cole alone, fucking, we ended that match in like 2 minutes. It was like 2.5 minutes, and we hit our 75, and it was GG's, game over. It was like, I think the final score was like 75-4.
Damn.
Sweats versus potatoes.
Yeah,
Clash
it
of the
was nuts. But the very next match, the entire other team was literally Halo pros. It was like Snipe Down, Strong Side, J for Jade, like all these old like Halo 3 players that were like playing together in Modern Warfare 2 lobby. And that game was like way closer. But I remember that. So I know skill-based matchmaking had to have always been a thing. Otherwise, I don't think I never would have found Halo pros on my own.
Well, then maybe that points to a different issue, which is the disbanding lobbies. Like maybe skill-based matchmaking never changed, but maybe once they started breaking up the lobbies, they were able to reassess your MMR. What does MMR stand for exactly?
I'm pretty sure it's matchmaking rank.
Okay, that makes sense. But then they're able to reassess your matchmaking, your MMR after every single lobby. So then when you're getting in, you're not sticking with noob lobbies anymore. You don't have control over who you're playing against, ever.
Right.
Because you remember those old lobbies where you play against like a hard motherfucker a few times, but you learn him, and then the next like few games you start to beat his ass, and then you're like, quit, and never,
Right.
Yeah, those were fun.
I remember that. Usually, though, I won't lie. Me and my friends were always on the other side, and we find these like scrub lobbies, and like we would just stay in these lobbies for hours because like these kids wouldn't quit.
50 kills
And
a
it
game, that's why.
and it was easy kills for us. Like one of us was calling in like our AC 130 and all that shit. Like one of us would do it like every game.
And that's part of the fun of it. I mean, that was the fun of old school COD. It really was the true like deathmatch and chill experience. Like I remember numerous times being able to put in my earbuds and play Call of Duty, like well.
Right.
Right.
Listening to
You don't have
music.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But now every match you have to fucking sound whore and fucking sweat your ass off.
Legs down.
Can't even
sit in
talk to the
chair.
people in your party. Yeah.
That's why, honestly, with this, when Modern Warfare 2 comes out, I really hope that like their league play or their rank play comes out at launch, because I think it's all I'm gonna play. Because if I'm gonna sweat every match, I might as well make it like go towards a rank, so I can actually have something to show for it if I start winning.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like, what other achievements? I mean, what the fuck are you going to be working towards in multiplayer that you're not going to be working towards in ranked?
Right, like all the way of the XP all crosses over anymore. Like, it's
Yeah.
to rank up and ranked, I'd still unlock shit for normal multiplayer, and I might still go play normal multiplayer if there's like a good game mode that's not in ranked or whatever.
Yeah, I got to admit that that ground war was kind of fun. I did enjoy the ground war a little bit.
I did not mind that. Yeah, that was actually
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those I gotta be honest. The what is it? That grenade you threw, the drill charge. That's like already one of my favorite lethals in Call of Duty history. Like, I love that thing, which is what sucks because there's so much about this game that's fucking awesome.
Right. Just needs to be tweaked just a touch.
Yeah. You know, and I was looking at the response on Twitter. I was really interested in that. And you had a lot of people defending the decisions that Infinity Ward is making regarding like Dead Silence and stuff. And you could tell these people have never played old school COD because they're like, well, I don't want people to just run around, you know, without footstep audio all the time.
Consequences.
Yeah, that doesn't
Right.
make any no
But
consequence. I can't
you
hear them.
don't, you don't need to have it sound like a rhinoceros in like a china shop, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
bad. You can hear them from so far away.
Oh yeah.
And, like, and even with old school CODs, like when a dude would rock like Ninja or whatever it was called and have silent footsteps, just their footsteps were silent. You could still hear their reload. If they ran through like a bush, you could hear the bush. If they jumped off of a ladder, you could hear that. If they climbed up a ladder, or like mantled a ledge, they'd make a little noise. Like there were still sound
Just the
cues.
footsteps. See, that's fine. I could live with that.
Yeah, that's totally cool. And like, you know, what sucks about it is if you think about the game, there's a perk that counters like everything except for footstep audio now. You know, there's a
Yeah.
perk that counters fucking lethals, tacticals, cold-blooded, right? Ghost. Fucking, you can even increase the range of your minimap and shit. And even decrease your flinch. But you cannot decrease your footstep audio except if you have Dead Silence. And I feel like having Dead Silence as a field upgrade is actually worse than not having it as a field upgrade at all because it makes the shit less predictable. You don't know when people are going to get Dead Silence, right? And they could be
Right.
all up in your ass running around with Dead Silence and you wouldn't even fucking know. You don't know when. Unpredictability. That's one of the big issues that I noticed.
Right. Yeah, I don't know though. My overall thoughts on it though, is I actually I had quite a bit of fun playing it.
I
enjoyed
had-
it. I just it's one of those that I need to get used to, man.
Yeah. I had much more fun playing the non-respawn game modes, I think. Even though on some of those I did like dog shit. Like 0 and 9, right? But at least it felt like I know why I died and it felt like I didn't get ripped off all the time.
Right.
I would rather go 0
those
and
were
9
good.
and have it all be straight up than fucking go 10 and, 2, but feel like those couple deaths that I had were complete bullshit. Like they just, I got cheesed somehow.
I
Right.
agree. I do. I think that's where my vote was on the no respawn game modes for sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how if they have like CTF and shit, how that'll play. Because trying to run flanks
Yeah.
and be quiet with the flag and fucking footstep audio that loud, that shit's gonna suck.
I did enjoy that in 2019. That one was fun. They do need to add that game.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? Like going back and when we play like Modern Warfare 2019, now that we like really do know how to play Modern Warfare 2019, it doesn't feel like the bullshit game that it felt like when it did come out at launch.
Right. That's what I'm hoping for with MW 2.
Yeah, and I mean, that might be a good thing considering this is a 2-year game, but with the way Call of Duty was going before, like it felt like you had to relearn the game every single time one came out and you didn't even feel proficient at the game until like 6 months into it. And that's a problem when your game only has a 1-year life cycle. And it's not, like your skills don't transfer over that well. At least that's how
Right.
I felt. Because, like, I remember fucking in Black Ops 2, I finished that game. My KD was on the up and up, getting close to like a 1.5. And then Ghost comes out. I start off at a fucking 1-0 again and have to work my way back up. And then the same thing happened with Advanced Warfare and BO3 and all that shit since.
I think a lot of that has to do with them being different developers and them making the game they want to make. And honestly, I think that's what Infinity Ward's doing like this go around. It seems like they're less focused on what the community wants and focused more on like the game they want to make.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
Which to me honestly feels like they're trying really hard to be fucking Rainbow Six.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I haven't played Rainbow Six in a while, but I think with Rainbow Six
Been a
you
while for
stayed
me.
alive a little bit long. Like the TTK quite as fast as Modern Warfare 2?
I mean, if you're getting headshots, like every gun in that game's like a one or two headshot, like one or two like bullets to the head, you're dead.
Which is
So
fair.
it could potentially be even faster than. But no,
Well,
TTK wise, I'd say it's like similar, but just the almost like they're trying to go for like a more like tactical game.
which is never what Call of Duty was.
No, it was always just a fucking casual fucking arcade shooter.
Yeah, and I do feel like we are moving away from that. Um, which is frustrating because when you think of a game that's like, hey, I just want to hop on and I want to do what the podcast is called, I want to play some deathmatch and just chill. What game do you go to?
It doesn't have deathmatch, but probably Rocket League.
Yeah,
Paladins.
yeah, Paladins for sure.
Like Battlefront, it's just one of those games. You just
Yeah.
sit back, relax, not even pay attention, and still get kills.
Well, and that's the point. Like, if they are going for a more tactical route, man, God, that's gonna burn some people out in the long run. At least in my opinion. Like, holy shit. Can you imagine fucking having to grind and sweat like that for so long? That's what killed me on Wildlands.
Every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like just having to sit there, be 100% focused, and all of a
Right.
sudden you got a fucking second job on your hands.
Yep, definitely very tactical, slow, heavy thinking.
Yeah. But on that note, what did you guys feel about the mini map? You think they should bring it back, or do you guys like the perk system where, Ghost kind of gives you that old mini map because you can't get it?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to get used to this new like little tier thing they got going on. Like you unlock it as you progress throughout the match. That's weird as shit to me. I don't know. I like
Yeah.
having my perks out the gate. But again, another learning curve, I guess.
Yeah. I think I like the idea of what they're trying to do with the perk system is like you can get some like overpowered perks later in the game. I really do
Yeah.
like that, but then a lot of people were raising issues. It's like, well, if you guys are going to constantly be doing lobby disbanding, how many times are you going to join into a match that's ongoing? We didn't do it much because we were always in a squad, so we were getting a lot of like, fresh
Yeah.
lobbies. But if you're a solo player and you're just bouncing around, it's easy to see.
Yeah.
So your perks are accelerated if that happens.
Okay.
Really?
But they don't match the
Like if-
lobby necessarily.
They match lobby time wise. So like if you're
Okay.
4 minutes in, if it's like 4 minutes in, you start with your your second perk or your third perk.
Oh.
First one you earn. Because it's all tied to the time clock unless you're personally doing like putting in like a shitload of score, then it'll be faster. But otherwise it's all tied to that time clock.
But if you join in at 5 and you're playing domination and your ultimate perk doesn't kick in until, what was it, 6 or something? I can't remember. But anyway, if it comes in at 6, like you could be in there and everybody else could already be on their ultimate perk at that point.
It would come in I can't remember what the times were for the second weekend or the beta we played, but the first beta it was 4 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, they would potentially be ahead of you, but I think, I mean, you would have like, so if you come in at 5 minutes in. I think you already have a minute's worth of progress towards it. So then you just got to get some caps and some kills. Like, I don't know. Weekend 1, I was earning my bird's eye roughly around like the 6 minute mark.
Okay.
And then weekend 2, when we were playing like TDMs, I would have my last perk by probably, because I think they sped it up and they did like, I want to say it was like 2 and 4 or something like that. Maybe it wasn't that fast. I feel like they were almost cut in half though for weekend 2 as far as how quickly you earn them, like just based on time.
Okay.
But all I know is I was earning that last perk pretty quick, but it's point dependent. So if you're not getting very many kills, or you're not getting very many assists, or if you're not getting like captures, then you're not going to get it very quick. So it basically rewards like you like participating and
Playing
like
the objective.
getting shit done. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of cool. Like
Because-
maybe they try to incentivize it.
Because I think I heard someone saying that it was like every 10 points of score. So like you get a kill, it's 100 points. So every 10 points of score, it shaves like a second off of the time. So if you get a kill, you shave basically 10 seconds off like your perk time.
Which could be pretty like OP if you go on a streak right off the bat, if that's possible.
Right. And
But
I mean, and then like you think about it, you call in your UAV and you're getting fucking 10 points for just a UAV assist.
Ah, that's true. But
And if
but then
you're-
it's like,
but-
oh sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and if you're like throwing flashbangs and shit, and then someone goes and cleans up your flash kill, you're getting flash assist points. Or if you have bullets in them and a flash, you're getting flash and kill assist. Like, there's points to be had. You just got to be doing it.
And maybe that's the way to play, is just to like farm that score early in a match. But it just kind of it sends mixed messages, right? Because like on one hand they're like, okay, go and rush, get your fucking score. But then on the other hand, don't have your dead silence. Every person on the enemy team can hear you. And if you want to get gold, you're gonna have to, because this was like, I think it was data mined for the gold challenges. You need to get like something like 3,000 crouching kills across all of your weapons if you want to get dark matter, and fucking like 1,500 mountain kills. So that immediately right there negates your whole movement. So it's like they're trying to incentivize. It's just mixed messages, is what is frustrating to me about it. It's like you're not clear about what you want the game to be, how you want people to play it. And what's allowed.
That's true, but at the same time, like, you don't necessarily have to be rushing to get your score fast. Like, if you say you're playing domination, you hit that B flag, you get the points for the flag, you get extra points for any kill you get sitting on that flag. So if you're fucking mounted on the B flag somewhere and you're just killing people while they're coming to B, you're getting defend points plus kill points. So, I mean, that would farm it pretty quick.
True.
And then you figure you get 3 or 4 kills real quick, throw your UAV up, and then throw up a counter UAV. Then you're getting UAV assists, counter UAV assists, kill points, defend
There's
points.
stuff you can do for it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to play fast. You just have to play smart.
Well, see, like I get that, but then on the other hand, it's like the way that you die feels like it's out of your control, which is what which I'm not particularly fond of. Like if some dude's sound whoring, maybe I see him on the UAV, but he's just sitting in a fucking corner. And there were a few times like where I chow, and I was talking to Ash about this the other day, the fact that they removed slide canceling and the fact that you can hip fire your weapon when you're sliding, like totally fucking ruins corner peeking for me. Because before, you could jump around a corner, you could walk around a corner, you could crouch, and you could slide. So you couldn't ADS a door, right? You couldn't just sit there and ADS a door because there was a chance someone was going to slide under your gun and you weren't going to see them. But now, if you ADS a door, no one's going to slide under your gun. So now you can ADS those fucking doors way easier than before. Like you can't play those mind games. Because I would always slide under a door and catch people off guard. And a few times I'm pretty sure I slid under their gun because they were ADS'd. Because they just like wouldn't react or would react super late. you can't play those mind games anymore. Your options are just jumping or fucking standing. So someone can basically just ADS the door, and you're kind of screwed.
The way I handled that a few times, like knowing a dude like being in that exact situation, was I'd actually dolphin dive the corner. That way when I landed, I was fucking prone.
Dolphin dive.
Interesting. And can you like when you were dolphin diving, can you like change your aim while you're dolphin diving?
You can turn while you dive.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's tight. That's tight. But that's still like it's still the dude's gonna see you. And if they're good at tracking, you know, if you get some pro campers like you see them 2019 Modern Warfare, that like have like fucking they have like pro aim, but they choose to sit in a corner. Like once you
Doesn't
get
make
in that
any fucking sense.
yeah.
Right. The other thing I would do a lot would be just to like flash the corner. Most of the time though, like I'd say probably 85-90% of the time I was just fucking b-hopping the corner, and I would just rely on my aim to outshoot them. Sometimes I'd die, but
Okay.
I feel like most of the time I'd get the kill because I knew what corner they were
Yeah.
in. So I could pre-aim the corner and like sprint, jump, and then be like pre-aiming as I hit that corner, and then even pre-fire. Like my finger would already be on the trigger before I come around that corner.
True.
Hell yeah, I hit him with the slide. That was actually working pretty
But
nice.
You can't fucking ADS, or I don't even think you can fucking hip fire while you're sliding in this one.
Not hit fire. I don't know. It worked pretty well for me when I was doing it, or I was just playing some people that can shoot. One and two.
Yeah, anytime I slid in this game, I died because I couldn't shoot.
yeah.
Like I'd be sitting there
Me
holding the
neither.
trigger. I would be sitting there holding the trigger down, trying to shoot them, and it's like I'd have to finish the slide before I could start shooting. Like I feel like you should at least be able to hip fire. But I mean, realistically, you're sliding. You should be able to ADS too. Like
Yeah, or just
I feel
throwing
like
a fucking gun.
It makes sense. Yeah.
I feel like I could go in my backyard and pull out my gun and fucking slide around a corner and fucking shoulder my gun. Like
We're testing this on Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm not even fucking. I'm not even tactically trained, and I feel like I could do that. I don't know
My
how
fat ass could do that.
I don't know how accurate my shot would be in real life, but I mean, if I can even remotely do it in real life, I feel like, and you're focusing on quote unquote realism, you should be able to do it in the game. Oh, my biggest gripe. Now that now that I've had a moment to mull it over and think
Getting
about this,
into it.
my biggest gripe is the lack of reload cancel.
Yes.
Yeah, that got me killed a few times. I was not used to that at all.
I didn't realize how much I actually fucking YY and sprint cancel
Yeah.
my reloads
Yeah.
until I couldn't fucking do it.
Oh yeah. Like how many times do you start a reload and then you hear a footstep? So you just pull your gun away, you know, just to be ready. But in this game, it's like, oh shit, my pants are down. Let me
Yeah,
find a
dude,
corner.
Straight up. That's like the
Right.
number one
There
thing. That's
is-
like my worst thing too.
There
To
was
reload after every fucking kill.
the only potential saving grace to this is there was a pre-made class. I didn't play with it, and I think it might have been Prestige is Key. I can't remember. It was one of the YouTubers, but they were playing with it and they found it. But if you start your reload and then you hit left trigger, I think it was left trigger. I can't remember if it was an actual gun switch or left trigger, but one of the two, it was an attachment on your secondary. You would take your primary and instead of putting it fully away, the animation, they'd hold it off to the side and you'd pull your pistol out.
Oh
But it was
yeah, I
like-
saw that.
But it was only during the reload that it would happen. So if you started, it was like if you started your reload and then you saw someone, you could pull your pistol out and fucking hip fire them with your pistol.
That's fucking cool. I never
So, I
played
mean,
with
if-
that, but I saw. I didn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that could potentially be a saving grace for it, but then again, that's a or a crutch perk that everyone's gonna have on their pistol.
Yeah. And you know, to take that point and combine it also like with the jumping around corners, like there's ways to overcome these things, but how much better do you have to be than the guy who's just sitting there to beat them in that gunfight? You know what I'm saying? Like if if you have to go through these fucking lengths just to get out of a reload or to just beat the guy around the corner, the other guy doesn't have to do that. So maybe that's why, you know, you might have more success with it than someone like me who's not quite as good, is like you're able to pull that shit off. Whereas me,
Right.
on the other hand, I'm not fucking able to. Like I might even be better than the other guy. I'm just not quite twice as good as him. You know what I mean? To be able to fucking pull myself out of those situations. And that's
other-
frustrating.
I guess the other option would be like, say you jump the corner and you dive from that dude in the corner, and once we've played the game a little bit more and we have call outs, you make the call out that there's a dude in that corner. And then one of two things could happen. We either all avoid that area or we pinch them. Because I did notice that there aren't very many like spots or rooms in this game where there's only one way in and one way out.
True.
Most every building has like either a door and a window, two doors, two doors or two windows. Like there isn't very many spots that I found where like you could easily sit in a corner and only have to worry about one direction.
Yeah, I think the maps are great. You know, just to throw in
So that
my hat there.
right,
but
no, 100%. I mean, museum or whatever pissed me off quite a bit. I don't know how I feel about that one, but the other maps I thought were pretty fun. But no, that might be the thing, is just to like try and pinch the dude sitting in the corner. But then the other thing too, though, now with the camping, if we know that dude's in the corner, like
Drill charge
It-
that ass.
I was gonna say, any corner that they're in, you can just drill charge that motherfucker. And
True.
the walls seem like they're paper now again. So I mean, just try and shoot the fucker through the wall.
yeah.
Worst
course.
case scenario is you don't get a hit marker, and then he knows where you are. But if he's sitting there camping, like he's not gonna challenge you, so just run away.
Yeah. But like again, the way that we have to counter this is just so much more. The skill level's a lot higher than the dude who just has to sit there, and that's my problem.
Oh yeah.
If there wasn't dead silence, or if they did have dead silence or ninja, then that would mitigate and slide, you know, and the ability to slide cancel. That would mitigate all of this, and it would mean that you don't have to be twice as good as the guy sitting in the corner to beat him.
Right.
And like that's my biggest issue is like the lengths you have to go to beat the simplest play style.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I guess my biggest thing with campers was like like I said, I'd either fucking like bunny hop the corner, or the other thing, which I probably did like the majority, honestly, probably the majority of the time. I would b-hop when I like challenged, but the majority of the time, I just throw a drill charge at the wall or a grenade in the room. If I killed him, great. If I didn't. I just avoided the room. I knew the fucker was in there, got the hit marker, flash checked it, whatever. I just stayed away. I'd pick a different route. Because that's the other good thing about these.
Kills.
That's the other good thing about this map is like there weren't a whole lot of choke points. Like I mean there's choke points where you have to like where you funnel people in through doors and shit, but like you don't necessarily have to go through the room that person's in to get somewhere else on the map.
True.
So I think that's the like I don't know. I think that's the easiest way to counter it is just avoid it. Maybe throw some grenades and shit in the room, and if you kill them, great. If you don't, just
Fuck
stay
off.
away from the room, or pre-aim it and like camp back on the fucker. Because eventually, like not all campers, but I feel like most of them, like if they haven't gotten a kill in a while, they'll probably try and relocate and just try and catch the fucker as he's relocating to like the next room.
True. Yeah, true. I like even then like I get frustrated with the time. I'm still on Black Ops 2 timing, so it's like, man, I see that guy sitting in the corner on the UAV or something, and I have to actively say to myself, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Me too,
just
man.
don't.
Yeah.
Just stop. I know, yeah. And then I fucking lose my focus for a second, but that's probably just that. Getting used to it. But it will be interesting, you know, how opinions change a month after launch or 2 months after launch, and we'll have the CDL to compare it to. So if the CDL is dealing with the same shit, you know, like fucking Asim and Hugh are camping on Hardpoint, and everybody else has to move around it. I just talk shit to them because I hate them, but yeah. I mean,
I
we'll
still-
see what issues they deal with.
I'm excited
still
to see
don't-
this year's.
I still don't think Asim's landed on a team.
Is he still out?
I haven't seen a confirmed roster with him on it yet. I don't think.
Damn. All right. Well, that's some low hanging fruit.
Yeah, no, like I was actually listening to the fucking Optic podcast the other day, and they were kind of talking about it, and I think they're excited but nervous. But listening to a lot of the pros talk about this game, like again, I don't know if it's because they're under contract or not, but they all seem to be like okay with it. Like they don't seem to
Yeah.
hate it like they hated Vanguard.
All right.
But like I said, like the season's getting ready to start. I don't know if they're under fucking contracts already, where if they talk shit, they can get fined already.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like to be fair, like the game moves well, and the guns are fun, and if you're a pro, that's kind of like all that matters. Like all this footstep shit and everything else we've been talking about. I mean, at that level, does it really matter? You know, I mean,
Right.
I don't know.
But the other thing I'm excited about too, because the CDL is talking about like potentially changing like the mini map. Like there's the possibility that like the mini map's like a regular mini map and like that and like if that's the case, because I think it's already been confirmed that the rank mode is called like CDL or some shit. Like you're playing the CDL playlist this year. And if that's the case, they'll have the CDL rule sets. So there's a potential that the minimap might be normal in regular in like the ranked play.
God, that would send some fucking signals. Be like, well, we don't have it in regular multiplayer, but the CDL has it, and they're the professionals.
There was one other game, I can't remember what game it was, but it was like that. The mini map was really weird in multiplayer, but the CDL it was like a normal like mini map.
Oh, really? I do not know.
It might have been Modern Warfare 2019.
That would have been fucking funny if that's the case. I don't even know how I'd Google that. Like sitting over here trying to Google that. No,
Right.
mini-map. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on Modern Warfare 2 or anything else to throw out there?
I'm just happy they brought back Dolphin Dive. Let's be honest. That's legendary.
Yeah.
I guess the only other thought I have is like fucking the graphics were dope, and I thought the operators looked really sweet in this one. I like that aspect of it for sure.
Yeah, I really like the gunsmith. Even with a lot of people were complaining about unlocking weapons and shit. Like, but I think
Yeah.
at least all of us here. I mean, we're okay with that. It's the other shit.
Yeah, I enjoyed the gunsmith. I can't wait till I actually get my hands on the full gunsmith, really. And I mean, the whole unlocking a receiver shit was kind of confusing at first, but like once you look at that progression tree and you see what you need to work on to fucking unlock the next thing, like it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, and I really hope if there's one piece of constructive feedback that I could give them that would not require them changing the way that the game plays, it's providing an easier way to understand it, like right from the get-go. In my opinion, like once you found that progression tree, yes, it was easy, but it's just like having a post like, hey, this is how you use the fucking gunsmith. You know what I mean? Right?
I had no idea until Aaron brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some weird little nuanced things like that would make it easier for sure if you could like do all that, like make a post or whatever about it. I'm trying to think of some of that. Oh, like even just editing a class or the perk system, that was kind of weird too. Like for the first time, like going in to try and like make your own perk set.
Yes.
That
And what
shit
was
kinda weird and
interesting,
awkward.
one thing that wasn't intuitive, it makes sense once you think about it, but it was not intuitive as a Call of Duty traditionalist, is when you would change your perks on one, like you would change it, it would modify that perk class for all of your other classes. You know what I'm saying? So before, when you would change something, you would change your perks around, it was like on the loadout level. But now when you change a perk, it's on your perk level, so it modifies it for all the other classes that are using that perk, that perk tree or whatever you want to call it.
The perk package.
Yeah, the perk package. Yeah.
Well, that's why, like, I ended up actually making, I think I had 2, maybe 3 perk packages. I really only used 1 because I found my, like, crutch perks, which I might rethink, because one of them was scavenger. But, I mean, let's be real, like, I stayed alive long enough to get to my like, last kill streak only, like, a handful of times. I don't know if scavenger is as much as a crutch perk as it used to be. I think now you almost want to rock like battle hardened and whichever one reduces flash or like your flash, because the flashes in this are ridiculous. Like
Oh
the
my
first time
God.
one blew up in my face and my fucking monitor was like, fuck, dude, I thought I was gonna go blind.
I'm
Yeah.
blind now.
Yeah.
Like the flashes were a bit fucking nutty, but
I felt like the perk that countered that, I felt like I was still getting flashed into non-existence.
you were, but the flashes didn't last as long. Like your screen didn't stay. Like it was like your screen went white for like a split second, and then it slowly started fading back to normal. As where at the regular flash, your screen was just straight white for a good like it seemed like two
It's
and
like
a half
good
seconds
old
before it'd fade
2019's
back.
flashes.
Like you couldn't see shit.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to throw in there?
I'm good.
Good. All right. Cool. Ash, you got anything? She might have fucking left.
I don't have anything.
All right. Well, I just want to check.
And she
But-
said, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play Paladins.
Yeah. Anyway, well, yeah, let's turn this shit off and let's go play some deathmatch and chill.